What's going on, guys? It's Felipe here, and I'm with my bumper right here inside the garage. And what I was doing is just repairing it. It was actually broken right here, and so what I did is I repaired it with fiberglass right under it, and then I put the Bondo over it. I brought this back to life too. I restored this right here because what happened is it was like completely chipped off, so I had to like form this shape right here, and I had to sand all of this down, and I repaired this, and also the corner right there, it got completely snapped off. So bringing this bumper back to life because I adjusted my coilovers and I brought them up a little higher. It was completely slammed before, and so I was destroying my kit. And I mean, I knew that was gonna happen, and I wanted to have my car slammed, but now I'm kind of over it, and I wanted to put the 14s back on it. The Watanabes. They look like Watanabes, but they're Koenig rewinds. So I put them back on my car, and it looks super sick. It drives and handles amazing. The excuse me, I feel like the body roll that the coilovers kind of give it, like if it's a little bit taller, I feel like the little bit of body roll helps with underpower drifting on like a 86 because you're really chucking it. So you use that momentum to connect the corners, and so I feel like it handles a lot better, and I can actually get on it and go fast again, because I had to like drive really slow because the car was so slammed and I didn't want to blow up the kit. But yeah, so it's good to have my car back in drift action. But and I was taking a break from drifting anyways because I had to save up for my trip to Japan. So I'm not, I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter if it was slammed or not because I wasn't really drifting anyways. So but yeah, I'm fixing the bumper, and I started last night. I'm gonna finish later on today. So I'm gonna get to work on this bumper. We have the corner right here where it is missing a chunk at the top. So let me focus right there. It's missing a chunk right there. I'm gonna lay down some Bondo and smoothen it out. I need to sand it right here too. You could see like the little hole, so I'm just gonna try to get it as smooth as possible, and do the same right here for the front where I already started sanding, but I just want to finish smoothing it all out. This bumper, I got it and it was already pretty beat. I put like a few cracks in it, but nothing crazy, and I've managed to keep this bumper together. And the way that I've done it is simply with Bondo and fiberglass. I just kind of self-taught myself how to do this stuff. I watched a few videos on YouTube and just, you know, winged it, and I mean, it worked. So yeah, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but it's working for me. It doesn't look all that great. It looks okay. I mean, the bumper's together, and that's really all that matters to me. If it was like a new nice kit that I bought, then yeah, I'd probably either take it to a shop, or I mean, I'd probably still try to do it myself, but I'd probably do a better job at it and be more careful. But I don't really care about this bumper, so it's kind of like whatever. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm gonna try to get it as best as I can. And I'm gonna paint it later. I'm not gonna paint it today, so I'll just show you guys how I mix the Bondo, lay it down, and kind of how I sand it. So let's get to it. I'm using regular Bondo body filler, and got some hardener right here. Usually they should come with hardener. If not, you can buy some separate hardener. Get some kind of like cardboard box so you can pour the Bondo out on it. So I'm just using like a fruit box. I was already laying down Bondo right here. So I'm gonna open up this thing. Okay. Bondo right there. So what I do is I get like little pieces of cardboard like this with a like nice straight edge, and I use that to lay it down. So I just like, so it can lay it down evenly and straight. Because when you have it super bumpy, then you gotta sand all that crap down, and it's a pain in the butt. That I already used earlier just to get the Bondo out of the can. Just kind of grab only the amount that you're gonna apply right now, because you don't want that Bondo sitting around, and you're gonna mix it so it's gonna harden, so you're just gonna waste Bondo. So I'm not gonna grab that much. So I laid it down. I'm gonna grab the hardener and I'm gonna put some in here, mix it all up until it turns kind of pink like this, and then I'm gonna apply it on. Okay, smooth as possible. But yeah, now I'm just gonna let it dry and sand it. Just gonna sand it as much as possible to try to get it as even as possible, like, cause you could see the lines from how the Bondo laid down. Alright, and there you go. That's the progress. It's a lot smoother than before, so I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit more Bondo right on the top and hit it with higher grit sandpaper. But yeah, look at that. That was broken. So I smoothened it out as much as possible. As you can see, it looks pretty smooth. Looks pretty good. It doesn't have that giant hole. Those holes that were on it earlier, that's gone. I don't know, it looks pretty good. So I might sand a little bit more and call it that. So there was a little bit of cracks here still, so I laid one more layer over that, and there was like a little crack right there, and I wanted to smoothen it out, so I put that on there. You're like, why does it look green? It doesn't look red. It's this type of Bondo, so it's the final finish glaze. And it's a little bit more expensive, and pretty much it just makes it look smoother. So yeah, so fast cure, smooth. So yeah, I've been trying to like put it on the parts that I'm finished with, just to make it a little bit smoother. So here we are, next day. I went to Home Depot, bought paint to paint the bumper. I decided to go two-tone, so I'm gonna go bottom half black, top half red. A lot of people run two-tone bumpers on 86s, so they look really cool, and I think it will be cool to kind of change up. Since I already raised the car and switched the wheels, it'll be cool to run a different style front bumper, just a different look. This is how the car looks right now, currently how it sits. So if you've seen some of the early videos, when I first got the BC coils, it sat at this height. I'm going to fix the fender. So if you see right here, it has a chip on it. So the previous owner, I think maybe like bumped it or something, and he had to put some Bondo on it. So I'm gonna repair that as it's cracked. And I'm going to repair a few like paint chips and imperfections on the rear bumper. You can't really see it since it's so dirty. I actually went street drifting for a little bit last night, but there's like some cracks right here and just little things I want to fix. Get this bumper straightened out, get the car looking real good. I'm gonna finish painting it, so I started painting it right now. So I taped it off, as you can see, so the top layers taped off, and I'm just gonna paint the rest of the bumper black. I'm just using some cheap dollar quick color cans, so just gloss black. It doesn't lay down all that great, so I might have to give it like a coat or two. So this is how the bumper looks so far. Okay, so I painted the bottom part, and then I masked the top off, and I painted the top part too. It started kind of sprinkling, so I brought it in here. But man, does it look freaking cool. Just wait till I take the masking tape off. I already saw the little preview of it when I when I saw the old paint job along with the new black. But man, does it look freaking cool. So yeah, so now I'm gonna fix the fender and get to work on the rear bumper too. I'm thinking if I want to fix the rear bumper. Honestly, I feel kind of lazy, but I feel like I should too. So we'll see. But I know definitely I gotta fix this fender so I can mount this bumper on. So I'm gonna get to doing that right now. As you can see, I made the layer covering that crack, and that hole kind of like formed the bottom. So now I'm gonna smoothen it out and add a little bit to the bottom. So this is how the bumper looks. It looks amazing. I really can't wait to see it on the car. Looks so freaking cool. And almost there. Just gonna smoothen it out a little bit more, but looks good. And on the other side, it looks good too. And you probably got a glimpse of this, but I'm gonna do a full video. Yep, we finished the RocketBunny. So I ended up having enough time to sand the fenders and paint them, and they're completely finished now. So that's it right there. There's a plane going by. But yeah, so it came out pretty good. The paint blended in pretty well, masked it off, and yeah, it actually came out really good. Very pleased with how it looks. And this is the right side. You can tell more on this side because this was the fender that had the most Bondo on it, and they actually painted it already. Like they try to paint match it, just like I did. Mine is is way more off than the actual paint that they had, but it looks good enough, and I'm happy with it. You can't really tell, especially once the car is washed. You won't really be able to tell. And the bumper's right there, all finished. I put the corner lights on to turn signals, and it looks beautiful. I really can't wait to put it on. So yeah, that's it guys. So remember to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Peace.